led by architect and director Daniel Burnham.
And Daniel Burnham?
Lighting up over 100,000 bulbs.
Dead. American history. There's a house in the Mississippi Delta, a house that stands where no house should be, on a mound of earth, raised high above the flatlands, like a sentinel watching time pass. They call it Mont Helena. On paper, it's a colonial revival mansion built in 1896 by a woman whose life was as tragic as it was beautiful. But that's only one layer of the story, because Mount Helena didn't rise from nothing. It rose from sacred ground. The earth beneath it was shaped for centuries by hands long forgotten in the pages of American history. This was no hill. It was a ceremonial mound, a sacred place where life, death, and memory converged. And maybe that's why they say the house isn't silent. Long before the settlers claimed this delta soil, this mound was alive. The people we now call mound builders saw the land differently. It wasn't just dirt, trees, and rivers. It was living. Sacred mounds like this were raised as markers of ceremony, of burial, of community. They were the earthworks where the people could gather, pray, remember, and honor their dead. This mound wasn't an accident. It was intentional. A raised heart on the flat landscape, a place to connect earth and sky. Pause and picture it. The rhythmic beat of drums, fires flickering against the starlit night, elders speaking wisdom to younger generations, ceremonies for the departed, their spirits sent off with a song and reverence. And then, the silence. Colonial expansion came. The mound's original keepers were displaced, their traditions erased, and the sacred site became land to be measured, divided, and sold. But does the land forget? Does a place that once carried prayers and tears simply stop listening because new hands claim it? Or does it hold memory like a deep echo, waiting for anyone quiet enough to hear? The story of Mont Helena shifts in 1855 when Helen Johnson was born into privilege. Her father owned vast lands. She was raised among lace curtains, Spanish moss, a child of southern riches. But life has a way of fracturing even the most perfect pictures. Helen was engaged to Henry Gray Vick, a young man of standing. Their wedding was set, her dress was made, guests invited. But days before they were to wed, Henry was killed in a duel, shot dead over a matter of honor in an era where words and pride could end lives. They buried him in his wedding clothes, and they say Helen's mourning was so profound it marked her forever. She became known as the Bride of Annandale. Her grief, the legends in Mississippi society. Years later, she married Reverend George Harris, a Confederate chaplain. Together they sought healing and built Mont Helena atop the mound. Perhaps it felt symbolic, rising above grief, reclaiming joy. But grief doesn't leave so easily. Some wounds run deep. Mont Helena rose in 1896, a grand statement of colonial revival architecture. It overlooked the Delta fields. Its white columns gleamed in the sunlight. Life resumed in its halls. Children laughed, guests danced at parties. The mansion became a hub of Southern life once more. But time wears down even the grandest dreams. The house passed through hands, each leaving echoes of their own. Eventually it fell silent. Windows cracked, floors warped, and the wind moved through it like a mourner wandering empty rooms. Locals began to speak of strange occurrences. A figure in white spotted on the staircase, phantom footsteps pacing late at night, a bell tolling in the dead of night though no bell was ever installed. Visitors reported cold spots, sudden whispers, unseen hands brushing their shoulders. The mansion became not just a relic, but a living memory of sorrow and history intertwined. But is it Helen? Or is it the mound itself, remembering every footprint that ever passed this sacred earth? Mont Helena isn't just a house. It's a monument to layers of memories, indigenous, colonial, postbellum, and beyond. It's a reminder of how easily sacred places can be overwritten, how quickly grief and joy can be built over. And maybe that's why the house feels alive, because beneath every brick, every board, lies centuries of stories. The voices of people erased, a bride's unending sorrow, and a land that refuses to be silent. Some houses hold memories. This one holds centuries. And if you ever stand in Mount Helena's hallways at night, listen closely. You might hear it, not just footsteps, but the heartbeat of the mound itself. When you step into the southern night, where the pines crowd close and the earth feels alive beneath your feet, you can feel it, a presence, a memory too stubborn to die. They'll tell you these are remnants of wars, homes abandoned, churches ravaged by time, structures left to rot in a changing world. Some ruins don't feel ruined at all. What if the history books don't tell the whole story? What if these mansions, these mounds, these star-shaped fortresses weren't built from scratch, but inherited? Maybe the South's story isn't just battles and plantations. Maybe it's about a world that came before, a world that burned, a world that we were never meant to remember. The South didn't forget. It was made to forget.
If you enjoyed this polished retelling of progress and civilization,
And if you're questioning what's really been buried under the official story,
then don't forget to like the video.
share it with the ones who aren't afraid to ask why.
Follow and subscribe for new episodes uncovering forgotten marvels.
And the history that still yaps beneath the ruins.
Because the past isn't silent, it's yapping.